The moment everything goes silent, it begins without warning. No explosion, no siren, no countdown, just silence. Across the planet, hundreds of nuclear reactors, machines built to contain one of the most powerful forces in the universe, suddenly stop working. Not shut down safely, not controlled, they fail at the exact same moment. Control rooms freeze, screens go dark. Warning lights flicker, then surge. Engineers stare in disbelief. Systems designed with layers upon layers of redundancy are simply gone. For a few seconds, nothing happens. And then everything begins. Understanding the scenario, nuclear reactors are among the most complex machines ever built. They don't explode like atomic bombs. They don't just go off. They are carefully controlled systems where atoms are split in a steady, regulated chain reaction, producing heat, generating steam, spinning turbines, and powering cities. But they rely on one critical condition: control. Constant cooling, precise regulation, continuous monitoring. Now imagine that control disappears, not gradually, not locally. Every reactor, every country, every system fails. At once, this isn't just a power outage. This is the sudden collapse of one of humanity's most delicate balances with nature. What a reactor really needs to understand what happens next, we need to understand one thing. A nuclear reactor doesn't stop being dangerous just because it shuts down. Even after the reaction stops, the fuel remains incredibly hot. This is called decay heat. It's the leftover energy from radioactive materials still breaking down. Right after shutdown, a reactor still produces about 6–7% of its full power output as heat. That might not sound like much, but inside a reactor core, that's enough to melt solid metal. That's enough to destroy the core itself. And the only thing preventing that? Cooling systems, pumps, water circulation, backup generators, layers of protection. Now remove all of them. Instantly. The global scram. The moment failure begins, reactors attempt an emergency shutdown, called a scram. Control rods drop into the core, stopping the nuclear chain reaction. For a brief moment it works. The reaction slows, power generation stops, but the heat remains, and the cooling systems, they're already failing. The heat builds without active cooling. Temperatures inside reactor cores begin to rise. Water used to absorb heat starts to boil away. Pressure builds, steam forms, fuel rods begin to overheat. Operators try to respond. Manual overrides, emergency protocols, but this scenario assumes total failure. Backup generators, dead, external power, gone, redundant systems, unresponsive. The reactors are now on a countdown. The first meltdowns begin within about an hour. The most vulnerable reactors reach critical temperatures. Fuel rods made of uranium pellets encased in metal begin to deform. The metal cladding fails. Radioactive gases start to escape. Hydrogen builds up. Pressure continues rising. Then comes the first rupture. Not a nuclear explosion, but a steam explosion. Violent, sudden, devastating. Containment structures are tested beyond their limits. In weaker systems, they fail. Cascade failure across the planet. Now multiply this by hundreds. Reactors in North America, Europe, Asia, Russia, all experiencing the same crisis. Some hold longer, some fail faster. But the pattern is the same. Cooling loss, right arrow overheating, right arrow core damage, right arrow explosion, right arrow radiation release. Spent fuel pools, often overlooked, become even more dangerous. These pools store used fuel rods. They require constant cooling too. Without it, water evaporates. Fuel rods are exposed. They ignite and release massive amounts of radiation into the atmosphere. The sky changes by the end of the first day. The world is no longer the same. Multiple nuclear sites are releasing radioactive material. Plumes rise into the sky. Invisible, odorless, carried by the wind. Rain begins to spread contamination across vast regions. Cities downwind of reactors face immediate danger. Governments issue emergency alerts. Evacuations begin, but there's a problem. This isn't one reactor. This is all of them. There is nowhere truly safe. What history has shown? U.S. humanity has seen nuclear disasters before. One reactor failure can change the world. Chernobyl, Fukushima, each one isolated. Each one catastrophic. Now imagine dozens, even hundreds happening at once. Chernobyl released radioactive material across Europe. Fukushima contaminated land and ocean. But in this scenario, the scale is global. Simultaneous, overwhelming, emergency response systems designed for single events collapse under the weight of many. The collapse of control. By the second day, governments struggle to maintain order. Mass evacuations clog roads. Hospitals are overwhelmed. Radiation sickness begins appearing in exposed populations. Symptoms are slow at first. Fatigue, nausea, then worse, internal damage, immune system collapse, communication systems are strained. Power grids, already stressed by the loss of nuclear energy, begin failing. Entire regions go dark, and in the chaos, another problem emerges: fear. The invisible enemy radiation spreads unevenly. Some areas are heavily contaminated. Others are spared for now. Food supplies become uncertain. Water sources are questioned. Agriculture halts in affected regions. Livestock is abandoned. Exports stop. Global trade begins to break down. Air travel is restricted. Shipping routes are disrupted. The world economy begins to fracture, not because of destruction alone, but because of uncertainty. No one knows where it's safe. Months later, the long shadow radiation doesn't disappear quickly. Some isotopes decay in days. Others take years, decades, even centuries. Large areas of land become uninhabitable. Cities near reactor sites are abandoned. Nature begins to reclaim them, but not without consequence. Mutations appear in wildlife. Ecosystems shift in unpredictable ways. Human populations relocate. Borders tighten. Resources become scarce, and the psychological impact deepens. A world once powered by controlled atoms now fears them completely. The global energy crisis: with nuclear power gone, the world loses a major energy source. Some countries relied heavily on it. Now they face blackouts. Emergency shifts to fossil fuels begin. Coal plants restart. Oil demand surges. Emissions spike dramatically. Climate change accelerates. Renewable energy struggles to fill the gap quickly. The world faces a paradox. To survive the nuclear crisis, it worsens another. Years later, a change decivilization years pass. The immediate crisis fades, but the scars remain. Entire regions remain off-limits. Generations grow up in a world shaped by this event. Energy policies change forever. Nuclear power becomes a symbol of risk rather than progress, or perhaps something else. Because humanity has a pattern, we fear what harms us. But we also learn, adapt, rebuild. Reflection: the balance we walk this scenario is extreme, unlikely, but not impossible in concept. It reveals something deeper: how dependent we are on systems we barely notice. How fragile control can be, how quickly stability can unravel. Nuclear energy is not evil, it is powerful, and power demands responsibility, precision, respect. Because when control is lost, even for a moment, the consequences don't stay contained. The question that remains, so here's the question. If something as complex as a nuclear reactor can fail across the entire planet, at the same time, what other systems are we trusting that we don't fully understand? And if they failed tomorrow, would we be ready? Or would the silence come first again?